What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the NG Models March 2023 releases. I've not made any predictions for this release set because I've been busy with school and stuff, but found myself a little time this morning to get this video recorded. I'm not sure if this is going to go out on Tuesday or not, because I do have a couple big things that I have to work on later today, so that might unfortunately take up all of my free time later on, which may result in this video being moved to Wednesday or some other day later this week, but we'll see how it goes. Go ahead and get started with the releases. Our first one, 58155, we have an Air Europa 737-800. Looks like a really nice release here. I heard that I think Iberia is going to be acquired by them at some point, so that'll be interesting to see if we get something like an Iberia 787 or a 737 even, but we'll see what happens with that. It is registered in Spain as well, as indicated by the Echo Charlie. 77022, we have another Southwest 737-700 Canyon Blue with splits. So they've done one of these already. Not sure why they are doing another one here. This is November 251 Whiskey November. They did 252 in the past, because I think there was someone that did request that. So, yeah, a bit unfortunate that NG would do something like that, not an Avelo 737, so I'm not sure what they were thinking with this release. 77027, we have an Aeromexico 737-700 in the old livery, so a nice choice here. Bit of makeup for the previous one, which this one I was thinking was going to be an Avelo, as indicated by the November 7-8, but this is what it ends up being, an Aeromexico. Still a nice release, though. 58150, we have a Fly Dubai 737-800 in the normal colors. No special decals or anything, because they tend to do at least 5 of those in every release. And looks like we do have another Fly Dubai, this one with split scimitar. So I do like that flexibility that NG does give you between having either blended winglets or split tips. So it just kind of depends on your preference, if you like to have some more realistic ones, or if you want, maybe just the blended ones. 58163, we do have the first Ryanair 737-800 with the scimitar winglets. So the split scimitar winglets finally going onto the Ryanair fleet. This is the first one, Echo India Delta Lima Yankee. So that's the first one fitted with the split tip scimitars on Ryanair's fleet. 58165, we do have a nice release right here, a Copa 737-800 in the retro livery. Gemini Jets does have this planned as a future release still. They've not formally announced it yet. So if you are looking for the Retro 738, I would recommend getting this one, because I know there has been a lot of criticism regarding the 738 mold. So if you are not on the side of the JC mold, definitely grab this Copa Retro 738 from NG. We have another Air Europa 737-800 with a 30th anniversary sticker, I believe it is. It says 30 Anos stickers, so I'm guessing that would mean like 30th anniversary or 30 years, something along the lines of that. We have another Korean Air 737-900, this one, no winglets and with the eyebrow windows, which I think they've done one of these in the past, so not sure what's going on with these re-releases lately. There's still a lot of popular models that have not yet been made that would like to be made at some point. A bit of an interesting choice here. We have an OK Air 737-900ER with winglets. Registration is Bravo-12901, so a Chinese airline once again. 79021, we have a Shenzhen Airline 737-900 with no winglets and no eyebrow windows. So interesting release here. I feel like they've done one of these as well in the past, if I'm not mistaken. I seem to have a pretty good data bank of all the releases that NG has done within like the last 6 months or so. We can even date further back with some more significant releases that I remember more. Very nice release right here, 53195, a TWA 757-200 with the AA hybrid. Me personally thinks that the TWA titles just above the passenger windows there up towards the front, it looks like it's a little squished, so hopefully they will fix that with the actual production model, which is something more of a CGI error than anything. We have a Cebu Pacific 757-200 with a really nice livery here. It's like an eagle or a bird of some sort. It looks really nice. I've never seen that livery before from them, so it must be an older livery. We have an American 777-200ER up next. This one will please a lot of the U.S. collectors. So if you want this American 222, go for it. I know Gemini has done plenty of them in the past, and kind of thinking they will do another one here, because I don't think they've done it yet with the newer JC mold. So hopefully they do that at some point, but this NG rendition should turn out really nicely. And then we have a One World 777-200 for those that like that option. So that looks really nice. We have another FIFA World Cup Qatar 777. They seem to love these things to bits. So I'm not exactly sure what's up with that, with constantly doing these Qatar World Cup planes when obviously there's a lot more options that they could be doing at this point. 59015 is an Air India 787-8 with 150 years of celebrating the Mahatma sticker. Probably butchered that, so I apologize. But I don't see it on here personally. I probably can't tell from here, but let me see. There's another Air India 787 to compare it with. Okay, so it seems like, yeah, the Air India tail on this 7878, this is the Mahatma Gandhi colors, so it has the Mahatma Gandhi on the tail, whereas the previous one just has the normal Air India sun. Kind of looks like a sun on there, if you will. So yeah, two Air India 787s once again. Next up is an EVA Air 787-10 with the registration of Bravo-17811. We have a JETSTAR A320 up next for our Australian collectors here, so you have that good option. Australian collectors get left out quite often in releases. We have an Avianca A320 with the Taka Heritage livery, so the Taka tail there that you see on the back there with the very deep blue and then the red and yellow stripes on the back. The Four Seasons is back, this one with an A321 Neo, operated by Titan Airways. So this is the Golf Dash X-Ray Alpha Tango Whiskey aircraft, which has been done previously with the United Kingdom livery. We have a Xiamen Air A321 Neo with Bravo-32 Charlie Yankee as registration. No special livery here. We have a Philippines A321 Neo. That's very nice right there. Again, normal livery, thankfully. Nothing ridiculous with that. We have a TAP Air Cargo A330-200. Now, I see that they do have the passenger window still marked. I'm not sure if the exact aircraft has that. Let me take a look. And it looks like it does, so they have not blocked out the passenger window, so that's a good catch by NG there with the detail, keeping the passenger window line on there. And then we have another TAP Air Portugal A330-200, and now I just noticed on the table here it says that it's officially licensed by TAP Air Portugal, so that is really nice. NG was finally able to get some sort of licensing from an airline. Now granted, they do have licensing, but it's just from Boeing, so they just get it from the manufacturer of the airplane and not the airline, so a lot of their releases are technically unlicensed, if you will. It doesn't really affect the quality of the product or anything, but that's just something to note. But here they do have some TAP Air licensing. So MSRP is $64.99, though. It is more expensive because licensing will cost NG something. Probably cost them like a flat rate per model or whatever. I'm not sure how much. I don't know the logistics of that, so I can't really comment on that too much. But what I can say is that this is more expensive at $64.99, and that will probably reflect on retailers' prices when you do go to pre-order this if you are going to get this. Continuing on, we have an Air France A330-200 with the updated titles, so the enlarged Air France titles there up towards the front. Continuing down, we have an Air China A330-300 in the normal livery, and then we do have one after that as well. This one is the 50th A330 for Air China sticker, so you just see it there right below the Air China titles up at the front. Closing in on our final releases, we have an ANA Lockheed A1011 TriStar. This is in an older livery as indicated by the Japanese titles there up towards the front, or Chinese characters, sorry. And then we have a Sichuan Airlines Tupolev Tu-154M. Did not realize that they operated these. I've only seen them with like the A321 Neo and a couple A330s as well, just online and through Flight Radar and all that. And that is everything for this release. Another large set again. This is probably about 30-some models again. I would not be surprised. I mean, like I've said, NG, I think, some point they're going to need to cut back on these release sizes if they will have issues arise from this again. But it seems like everything has stabilized now. They must have been able to figure out how to handle this many models every single month, which is the good news, but it does seem like we're still having occasional delays. So I think it's going to become like in-flight 200, where they're just going to have a huge backlog of models that they have yet to make and send out to retailers. So it could be one of those deals where you'll pre-order a model and you might be waiting several months for it to arrive, which hopefully that's not the case, but if this does continue, I would not be surprised if that was the case, but hopefully that does not happen. But in the meantime, looks like your pretty standard NG release, just with lots of variety, lots of options for collectors to choose from, and just overall a lot to talk about. So, just to keep it short and sweet, a lot of variety in here. Main highlight is that TAP Air Portugal A330200 and the TAP Air Cargo as well, which have official TAP Air licensing. So again, it is more expensive, so if you do go to pre-order this, it may be a little more expensive than your average NG, because I think like something like the 737s or A320s are like $45. I would not be surprised at the TAP Air Portugals or something in the range of like 50 to 55 or even higher, maybe a little closer to $60. Just because of the licensing costs and all that, but we'll see what the retailers decide. But I have not looked at any retailers yet to see if they have this up on pre-order, so I can't confirm if it will be more, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But yeah, just to kind of round this off, a lot of variety in this release set, plenty to talk about, so let's discuss in the comments. What are you going to be getting from this release? What are you most excited about? And so on. So feel free to leave your comments below, and we can go ahead and get the conversation started with this release. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.